Silent Hill fan. I've always been a fan since I was 13 years old, sitting in the dark at 2 a.m., battling my proverbial instinct to shit my pants over the sheer horror of the unknown that the game conveyed. Fast forward to 2004 when the final Silent Hill game developed by Team Silent was released. Thousands of fans immediately began freaking out with the announcement of Team Silent calling it quits on the rapidly beloved franchise. However, rumors have it Konami let Team Silent go. Yet the fanboys still feel content using Tom Houellette as a metaphorical piñata instead of Konami's inability to give a flying fuck about Silent Hill anymore. With the release of Silent Hill Homecoming being panned by so-called true fans, as well as Shattered Memories and Downpour taking the brunt end of a crowbar at the hand of elitist fans, being a Silent Hill fan became a social stigma. The fan base was divided. On one hand, you have the fans who see merits or flaws in each iteration without going into full nerd rage mode over the fact that the developers were gaijin. On the other hand, you have a menagerie of frothing jackals who proclaim the self-absorbed group known as Twin Perfect as the saviors of the fan base. Now let's get this straight. They are the cancer of the fan base. They spew forth diuretic, contradictory opinions as if they were stone-cold fact. The real Silent Hill experience? Really? Could you have come up with a more self-masturbatory title for your platform to basically shit-talk every Silent Hill developer responsible for any game after Silent Hill 3? Yeah, they even bashed Silent Hill 4. A game also developed by Team Silent that tried something different. God forbid a game tries to think outside of the box. Many Silent Hill fans lauded it for being something other than a man with a tortured past filled with scenes of Lee Geometry Guy molesting anything with 2 legs, or 4 legs, or anything that breathes for that matter. Now don't get me wrong, I believe Silent Hill 2 is the golden standard, but therein lies the problem. The developers kept trying to aim for the golden standard, which handicapped them in the sense of originality and creativity. I did enjoy Homecoming's origins and Downpour. Homecoming had magnificent atmosphere, and some of Akira Yamaoka's finest work to date. Origins harkened back to the atmosphere of the original game. Downpour was a step in the right direction, despite less than spectacular creature designs and the terrible frame rate issues. And this brings me to the future of the Silent Hill series. Where is it headed? I ask this mostly due to the recent influx of Silent Hill news being focused on nothing but statues. Now I'm a collector myself, but I fear in the next few years, this is all we'll be hearing about when it comes to Silent Hill. Merchandise other than, actual games. But you get the occasional anomaly, such as mostly non-game fan movie audiences lapping up the mediocre sequel that was Silent Hill Revelation 3D. It's almost certain there's going to be a third movie, and I can only dread what the final product would look like. Now, it's been said that Hideo Kojima has expressed interest in a Silent Hill game being made on the Fox engine. I think this is just conjecture at this point, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm a big Metal Gear Solid fan, and fans seem to think this means he'll be at the helm of the next installment. He only expressed interest in it possibly being used in the Fox engine, or him being involved in some way as a supervisor of sorts. I think that would be fantastic because, one, it would enable Konami to actually give a shit about the franchise again, since it's being associated with the man behind their top-selling franchise. And two, I think the social stigma would lessen within the Silent Hill community, and people will be excited to know about a new installment in the future. They want to hear news. Remember when Homecoming came out and people were just itching for news? Stuff like that I miss. Personally, I'd rather have another developer work on the next Silent Hill. Naughty Dog. The developers responsible for the Uncharted trilogy and the recently released blockbuster game The Last of Us. Playing through The Last of Us, I kept thinking that this game plays so similarly to Silent Hill, and the visuals are so captivating and at times very believable. The level design itself was what made me think that this is entirely possible. Each house, building, corridor gave off a prominent survival horror vibe. It was almost a shame to call it an action-adventure considering there were so many moments that were pants-shittingly terrifying. In conclusion, my vote goes to Naughty Dog. They have the resources, the inherent fan base, and the tools of the trade to create a convincing Silent Hill game. The possibilities for the future of this franchise are endless. Let's just hope the possibilities aren't as hopeless as Twin Perfect passing a polygraph test.
Who's that? Developer? It's
Hideo Kojima.
Did you like it?